Intel just did something few people believed was still within reach of a Western corporation. They built what may be the most advanced semiconductor node currently in production, and they did it right here on American soil. The claim is bold, bordering on the arrogant, but the data backing it up is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. Intel 18A is not just another manufacturing milestone or a minor upgrade to your laptop's speed. It represents a definitive turning point in the global chip race, a moment that could directly shape the performance, efficiency, and capabilities of every device you touch. This is the story of how a titan fell, how they gambled their entire existence on a single roll of the dice, and why it matters to you. For decades, Intel was the gold standard, the company that defined the very pace of computing innovation. They were the benchmark, the apex predator that every other semiconductor firm spent their nights chasing. But in the early 2010s, the momentum started to stall in a way that felt almost like a slow-motion car crash. Repeated delays in their 10-nanometer process gave their competitors a massive gaping opening. While Intel was busy making excuses and refining old tech, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company quietly stepped into the lead. The consequences of this failure were not just academic, they were existential. Major customers who had been loyal to the Intel logo for years began to look elsewhere for their fix. Apple was the first to move, severing a partnership that had lasted for over a decade to build their own silicon. Then came NVIDIA, surging ahead to dominate the artificial intelligence landscape using chips Intel couldn't even dream of making. Even AMD, once considered the budget alternative, began to eat Intel's lunch in the data center and consumer markets. Meanwhile, Intel's manufacturing division became a black hole for capital, posting billions in losses quarter after quarter. This wasn't a temporary setback or a bad fiscal year. It was a structural crisis that threatened to dismantle the company from the inside out. They were the victims of their own success, blinded by a monopoly that they thought would last forever. They became the villain in their own story, the stagnant giant charging you more for the same 4 cores year after year. Facing mounting pressure from shareholders and the ghost of their own reputation, Intel made a decision that would define the company's ultimate fate. They launched an aggressive roadmap called 5 nodes in 4 years, a plan to compress nearly a decade of missed progress into a single, breathless sprint. At the center of that high-stakes strategy was one specific goal, the Intel 18A process. This was never meant to be just a recovery point or a way to catch up to the competition. It was intended to be a technological leap strong enough to put Intel back into direct competition with the world's best chipmakers. To understand why 18A is a big deal, you have to understand the fundamental physics of a transistor. Modern chips rely on billions of tiny switches known as transistors, which act like the neurons of a digital brain. For years, those switches used a design called FinFET, where the control gate touches the channel on 3 sides like a hand gripping a garden hose. This approach worked brilliantly for a long time until the limits of physics started to push back. As chips became denser and the components shrank to the size of a few atoms, electrical leakage began to skyrocket. Heat rose, efficiency dropped, and the traditional way of building chips reached a dead end. This is where the first major breakthrough of 18A comes in, a technology Intel calls RibbonFET. RibbonFET changes the geometry of the transistor entirely, moving away from the 3-sided grip of the past. Instead of touching 3 sides, the gate now surrounds the channel completely on all 4 sides. Think of it as moving from a hand gripping a hose to a pipe completely encased in a valve that can shut off every single drop of water. The result of this architectural shift is tighter electrical control, improved efficiency, and more reliable performance at scales we previously thought were impossible. This is exactly what modern computing demands, especially as we push into the era of massive artificial intelligence models. But Intel didn't stop at just reinventing the transistor itself. They decided to tear up the entire blueprint of how a chip is wired. If RibbonFET represents a steady evolution of physics, the second breakthrough, called PowerVia, represents pure disruption. Traditional chips route both power and signals through the same layers on the front side of the silicon wafer. Imagine a city where the power lines, the water pipes, and the fiber optic cables are all shoved into the same narrow alleyway. As components shrink, that shared space becomes increasingly congested, leading to interference and massive efficiency losses. PowerVia solves this problem by moving the entire power delivery network to the back of the wafer, separating it from the signal lines. This single architectural shift unlocks several massive advantages that the industry has been dreaming about for years. It allows for cleaner signal routing, reduced electrical resistance, and significantly faster signal timing across the entire chip. Most importantly, it introduces a new design framework that Intel's competitors have yet to deploy at a meaningful scale. By moving the power lines to the basement, so to speak, Intel has cleared the ground floor for more transistors and faster communication. This is a level of structural redesign that we haven't seen in the semiconductor industry in decades. It is the equivalent of inventing the skyscraper in a world of one-story huts. When you compare leading-edge semiconductor nodes today, the results are surprisingly balanced for the first time in a long time. Intel 18A demonstrates strong gains in performance and power efficiency that put it right at the top of the pack. Meanwhile, competing processes from Taiwan still hold a slight advantage in absolute transistor density. That difference matters depending on who you are and what you are trying to build. Higher density allows more functionality in smaller devices, which is absolutely critical for the next generation of smartphones. However, sustained efficiency is becoming more important for the massive data centers and AI systems that run our modern world. In other words, the winner of this race depends entirely on the workload you are throwing at the silicon. What matters most for the average user is that the race is actually competitive again, after years of a one-horse show. For the last 5 years, you have been the victim of a stagnant market where prices went up and innovation stayed flat. You paid the loyalty tax to companies that knew you had nowhere else to go for high-end performance. Now, that dynamic is shifting, and competition is the only thing that will force these companies to lower prices and actually innovate. Technological breakthroughs only matter if they actually ship in real hardware that you can buy at a store. And with the 18A process, those products are already starting to arrive on the shelves. Intel's latest laptop platform built on this process delivers substantial improvements in multi-threaded performance and graphics. They managed to do this while maintaining similar power consumption, which is the holy grail of mobile computing. On the server side, new processors designed for hyperscale infrastructure are packing hundreds of efficiency-focused cores into a single package. These chips are optimized for large-scale AI workloads, the kind of tasks that usually require a small power plant to run. These systems are not experimental prototypes or laboratory dreams. They are being deployed in the real world today. One of the strongest indicators of success in this industry isn't marketing fluff or flashy keynotes, it is customer commitment. Major technology companies have already signed on to build their future products using Intel's new manufacturing platform. That level of adoption suggests a deep confidence not just in the technology itself, but in Intel's ability to execute at scale. In semiconductor manufacturing, reliability and yield matter just as much as peak performance. Large customers only commit their multi-billion-dollar product lines when both of those factors are proven beyond a reasonable doubt. They are tired of being held hostage by a single supplier in Asia, and they are looking for an alternative. The significance of 18A extends far beyond the realms of engineering and corporate balance sheets. Today, the vast majority of advanced semiconductor production is concentrated in a single, politically sensitive region of the world. That concentration creates economic and security risks that global governments are increasingly unwilling to ignore. By restoring cutting-edge manufacturing capacity domestically, Intel is doing more than just selling chips. They are strengthening supply chain resilience and reducing a massive strategic vulnerability for the entire Western world. This is no longer just a business competition between tech firms. It is the construction of essential national infrastructure. If the supply of advanced chips were to be cut off tomorrow, modern life would essentially grind to a halt within weeks. Intel sees 18A not as a finish line or a final victory, but as a foundation for everything that comes next. Future generations of processors will build on the same core technologies introduced here, refining them and scaling them further. The roadmap points towards systems with dramatically higher transistor counts and increasingly sophisticated on-device computing. That trajectory could redefine what your personal computer and your AI assistants are capable of within the next 10 years. We are looking at a future where your device doesn't just run programs, but understands the world in real time. But despite the progress and the hype, we have to keep our feet on the ground because significant challenges still remain. Manufacturing yields, the percentage of chips on a wafer that actually work, still need to improve significantly for this to be a financial win. Execution must stay consistent, and Intel cannot afford another delay like the one that nearly destroyed them in 2014. Even Intel's own leadership has framed the current period as a transition phase rather than a victory lap. The recovery is well underway, but it is not yet complete, and the competition is not sitting still. Taiwan and Korea are pouring hundreds of billions of dollars into their own next-generation factories to keep their lead. The bottom line is that what Intel achieved with 18A is more than just a technical upgrade to a piece of silicon. It is a strategic comeback that many industry experts thought was impossible just 3 years ago. They rebuilt their momentum after years of humiliating setbacks and introduced entirely new manufacturing architectures to the world. The impact of that shift will ripple through the next generation of laptops, AI systems, and global data centers. For the first time in years, the future of chip manufacturing looks like a true high-stakes competition again. This is good news for you, the user, because it means the era of stagnation and high prices might finally be coming to an end. You have been the victim of a slow-moving monopoly for too long, but the tide is finally turning in your favor. So here's the lesson we can take away from this saga of silicon and shadows. Never assume that a leader today will be a leader tomorrow, and never count out a giant that has finally realized it is bleeding. Success breeds a specific kind of blindness that only a near-death experience can cure. For the user, the advice is simple: stop being loyal to a brand and start being loyal to the innovation they actually deliver. The next time you go to buy a computer, look past the sticker and ask yourself who is actually pushing the boundaries of what is possible. As we move into 2025 and beyond, the battle for the heart of your digital life is only going to get more intense. Will Intel reclaim the throne permanently, or is this just a brief flicker of life before the end? What do you think about Intel's attempt to bring high-end manufacturing back to the United States? Is 18A enough to make you switch back from Apple or AMD, or do they still have a long way to go? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to stay informed on the technologies shaping our world. The Silicon War is just beginning, and the stakes have never been higher for the future of our civilization. Because in the world of semiconductors, the smallest changes often have the largest consequences for us all. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next deep dive into the machinery of the future.